Hey everybody, Xeno back here for another challenge. You read the title, so let's get straight into it. Today we're going to be trying to beat Mega Man 2 with only the Leaf Shield. Stipulations for people that have not watched these videos before. Of course, as usual, we will be getting Leaf Shield from the start of the game, meaning that we won't have to beat Woodman before having it, so we'll be able to run the entire game with it. It will have infinite ammo because otherwise, obviously, we will not have enough ammo to beat everything in the game with it. This challenge is actually probably going to be one of the hardest ones because, except Airman, none of the bosses in the game take damage from Leaf Shield under normal circumstances, so almost every boss in the game is going to be programmed to take 1 damage from it instead to make the run possible. That said, let's get straight into it. Figured we may as well start with the one stage that is categorically going to be pretty easy since we have the Leaf Shield to beat Airman with very easily. Leaf Shield is pretty effective against the enemies in Airman stage, including the goblins, the birds, the Kaminari Goros, so this one's a fairly easy one. Leaf Shield, oddly enough, does not excel at being a shield since it doesn't block any projectiles, but it sure as hell is pretty powerful offensively, interestingly enough. Obviously, since it's Airman's weakness, this fight will be over rather quickly once the first volley of tornadoes is over, but we'll get to talking about more details about the Leaf Shield in the coming stages, most notably its offensive prowess against the normal enemies, which makes the stages fairly easy, but some of the bosses will be a challenge. Now, you may think going to Woodman stage 2nd is a bit of an odd choice, because you would think that the weapon here would be pretty ineffective against things, although interestingly enough, the exact opposite is true. So as far as I'm aware, in this game, for enemies that didn't have damage tables programmed for certain weapons, the game defaults to having them be one-shot by said weapon. Every single enemy in Woodman stage dies in one hit to the Leaf Shield, so it's pretty clear that they didn't account for this unachievable edge case. I mean, you can't revisit the stages in this game, so this should never normally be possible anyways, but I just always found it really funny how effective this weapon is in this stage. It makes absolute mincemeat out of everything. And since it's so big, it's really not a challenge to hit everything with it, so it's pretty cool. Let's skip forward a little bit. Even the atomic chickens at the end of the stage get completely eviscerated by this thing. It's even more satisfying than killing them with the Crash Bomber, to be totally honest, because you can just keep running. It's really fun. Let's not bother doing a jump cut before Woodman, but for the first time ever, the Woodman jump glitch is probably going to be extremely useful here. That's what I recommend taking advantage of at least, because, again, for every boss except Airman, we're going to be stuck doing 1 damage to them, so my recommendation for Woodman is to do this. I'm going to try to not get hit, and I fucked up. Alright, awesome. Yeah, let's see if I can not suck. Okay, actually this is kind of working out. Perhaps after this volley? Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay. Well, no. Genuinely kind of hard to do it on the right side of the screen because Woodman will get stuck on that lip. Doing it on the left is a bit easier, but even without the Woodman jump glitch, it's not too bad because you can get like at least 4 hits on him in between volleys. So, anyways. Leaf Shield is really good against the moles in this section, so this goes by in a flash. Unfortunately, the blockies in this section are immune to Leaf Shield, meaning that we're going to need to probably take some damage, as was the case with the Bubble lead video. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Perfectly alright in the grand scheme of things, but very annoying. And then using the pause glitch to clear this chasm as usual. There we go. Now, the fight with Metalman with Leaf Shield is kind of interesting because Metalman, as most of you know by this point, having probably watched at least one of the other challenge videos, is that he's programmed to respond to you pressing the fire button. So it's actually really fairly easy. All you have to do is make sure you don't get hit, of course, but if you can clear that, all you have to do is put up your Leaf Shield, wait for him to come back down, and that's basically it. It's more of just a Battle of Attrition, to be totally honest. Fairly boring. Most of the bosses in this challenge do not pose as much of a threat as I thought they would. Let me see if I can avoid it getting hit by this. Okay, nice. The pause glitch is surprisingly versatile in this game. Okay, I'm still going to end up probably dying from stupidity. Yeah, awesome. It may honestly be wiser to just damage race him. Wait. Yeah, actually, let's get more aggressive. There we go. Alright, see ya. As usual, Quickman stage leaves little to comment on. Some damage boosting might need to be done on these Sniper Joe mechs. Ah, crap. Well, yeah, obviously if you completely flub and end up nearly killing yourself before the boss, it's not going to benefit you in any way, so let's do a little jump cut, because we're going to need all the health we can for Quickman. Anyways, Quickman. As usual with most of the weapon challenges, it's this guy that gives us the most trouble. We're again dealing damage one tick at a time with a weapon that is pretty ill-suited to kind of hitting him conveniently. Although you can kind of stand in place sometimes and achieve this effect, which kind of works. But it's honestly very much a damage race in many senses of the word. I thought I was going to die there, but it actually worked out. Good stuff. Next stage. One interesting effect of Leaf Shield being up when the boss dies seems to be that one of the music channels in the weapon get screen is gone. That's very interesting. The less said about a Heatman stage, the better, to be honest. Literally nothing goes on here. Anyways, Heatman. As usual, this is boring, but I will show it. With him, with Leaf Shield, you can kind of do this thing where you just kind of post up next to him and activate the shield, and it's kind of funny in some sense. Okay, he's screwing with me. Sometimes the RNG will get you. Okay, alright. Alright. Okay. You know, this fight is actually a lot more annoying than I give it credit for. Mostly because, Heatman's quick dash RNG can really screw you up if he decides to dash really fast. The time it takes to deploy the Leaf Shield and then fire at him makes it just really annoying and also extremely tedious because you're only doing damage one tick at a time, so... Anyways, moving on. Aside from having to tank damage from this blocky here, Leaf Shield is really well suited to take Crashman stage down. It makes complete mincemeat of tellies, peepees, and basically anything else that stands in your way here. Let's just cut forward, because most of this is very repetitive. Now, Crashman is probably the only other boss other than Quickman that gives a very significant, or more significant challenge in this fight than many of the other bosses. Although Heatman was a right pain in the ass too, to be fair. But the slow deployment speed of Leaf Shield means that you actually have to be pretty close to him when you fire it off. So you end up having a lot of really close shaves, kind of like you're seeing me do now. It feels very bizarre, but you know, once you get used to this song and dance of it, it kind of levels out. Oh. There we go. Yeah, you just have to be a little closer than you're used to. Jumping afterwards also helps. And if you get hit by him, you can kind of just spam for a little while for some free invincibility damage like this. And there you go. Crashman's toast. Next. The large croakers in this opening segment are immune to the Leaf Shield, so... Oh. Okay, that was not expected. Okay, so, that last croaker can really snipe you with the mini frogs if you're not careful, but damage boosting on the small ones is the way to go in that segment, because otherwise you're just going to get hit by the larger ones. Interesting issue that I didn't expect to have, actually. I got caught really off guard when I got hit off the platform there. Either way, let's skip forward a bit because Leaf Shield is fairly good at handling these other enemies in Bubbleman stage. Complete tangent to the challenge, but it's so bizarre to me how half of Mega Man 2's stages have these really thematic and like unique enemies, like Bubbleman stage being a fantastic example of having 3 or 4 unique enemy types all with their own dedicated segments, like the Metroids and then the claws at the end. And then you have some stages like Crashman where they don't have a single unique enemy in them, and it's just really odd how the stages feel like they were designed by 2 completely different people, or maybe more. I don't know why this is lagging so much, by the way, but I have nothing to say about Bubbleman in case that tangent didn't make it obvious already, but yeah, really weird stage designs like Heatman, Crashman, Flashman are really generic, and then the other stages have like a lot more unique stuff going on in them. Kind of makes it feel like they ran out of time for certain ones, but anyways, my ranting aside, let's take on our last Robot Master. Flashman stage exists. That is all. Flashman himself is probably in the mid-range of annoying bosses for this challenge, but the spam strategy works really well against him overall. At least if you don't start... I was able to get him to, like, jump infinitely at one point. I guess I messed that up. But yeah, he's not that bad. There we go. And that's a wrap. Let's move on to the Wily stages. As per usual, Wily 1 is where my insightful commentary kind of starts to drop off a bit. There's just generally a lot less to talk about in these stages. Minus the bosses, of course. So we have our first seizure inducer here. It's trying to hit Mega Dragon with the Leaf Shield is really annoying because you have to try to not fall off the platform while also firing the shield. And it's just kind of a frustrating experience. Yeah, okay, wait. Let's E-tank up. Let's be smart. Yeah, it's so odd to me how he just will shoot like a million sprites at once and completely lag the game to shit. I was just standing in fire there. Yeah, that's that. Definitely probably going to need an E-tank for this one just because of how annoying it is to try and manage not falling off and firing the Leaf Shield left. But not too bad overall. As per usual, Wily 2 doesn't leave a whole lot to the imagination, mostly just boring rooms of nonsense. The mole hallway is pretty easy since Leaf Shield... Oh, wait. Did I... Oh, okay. Nope. Just messed up the timing. I was gonna say, if I actually forgot to substitute the damage value in the ROM, I was gonna be mad with myself. Also, I'm doing a very bad job. Leaf Shield is a decent weapon to take this thing on. It's a shame that, you know, it doesn't work in the vanilla game, but... Oh, come on. Yeah, if you could use it, it would be a pretty alright choice. Maybe they would have made it do more than 1 damage, but who knows. Yeah, the biggest difficulty comes from when you have to fire the shield, but also don't want to move at the same time. It's like highly beneficial to get up right up next to them and start spamming. There we go. Very nice. Alright, Wily 3. I can't wait for the insightful commentary for this stage. Anyways, yeah, that existed. Guts Dozer, probably going to be the same case as with most of the other weapons where... Actually, wait, is this going to be more annoying than I think? Might be. Yeah, actually, okay. This is more annoying than I thought it would be. Yeah, because you have to try and... get a pattern with the shots being lobbed at you. Try not to fall on the ground, I guess. God damn it. Yeah, like this. It's more difficult when it's moving back. When it's moving forward... Oh, what? I was considered grounded for a moment there? Interesting. Okay, there we go. It's actually probably the hardest Guts Dozer fight ever, to be honest. That thing's never usually that hard. Anyways, let's talk about Wily 4. Hey everybody, check out this Wily 4 gameplay. We got everybody's favorite, waiting around on platforms with Leaf Shield out. Isn't this so exciting? I know, right? Anyways, on to the only segment of this stage that usually ever gets shown, which is this hallway with the Joes. This is unavoidable, as usual, which is really awesome. Totally not annoying at all. Alright, jump over me. Oh, nice. Okay, I got clipped. Well, that's an L. Oh, nice. Get out of here. Boobeam trap. Probably one of the easiest versions of this fight. Yeah, I mean, with the aim ability of this thing, it just doesn't stand a chance. They really picked Crash Bomber as just the most, like, fuck you weapon. It's genuinely pretty funny. Anyways, let's talk about that boss rush. So, as usual, let's show off those more annoying fights. Quickman, as always, the biggest pain in the ass in all of these challenges. The flat floor kind of benefits us to some extent. I don't know the extent to which it does, but he's always a pain in the ass. The spam strat is probably your best bet overall. Oh, nice. Okay, awesome. Okay, anyways, yeah, we beat Quickman. That didn't happen. Pretend that didn't happen. Let's, also talk about Crashman, I think? Yeah, he's kind of, sort of entertaining. Vaguely. Oh, nice. Okay, I wasn't expecting him to do that. Yeah, this fight is primarily annoying just because of how tedious it is. Same with Heatman's fight, to be totally honest. It's like, there's nothing difficult about this, it just takes forever. And Leaf Shield is also really unwieldy against him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just plain annoying. Is there any faster way to handle this? Not without taking damage. And sometimes you just straight up miss, which is great. Oh! Okay, I got clipped by the bomb. You know, we have E-tanks. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. We're not going to need that many of them. This is like the last freaking stage of the game. The Wily machine isn't going to give us that much trouble either, so just get out of here. Then we have, I mean, Metalman is kind of funny because now that the conveyor is gone, there's really not much stopping you from just standing here except your own incompetence. It's probably still faster to do it the other way. Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of satisfying. You can get like 3 hits on him if you're... Yeah. Okay, wait. At least if you don't miss. Yeah, nice. Okay, sweet. And then I suppose we could maybe show Heatman's fight. I kind of want to show off... Oh wow, this video is going long. Slightly better strategy for Heatman that I discovered is only traveling half the room's length with him. Makes it a bit easier. I kind of want to show off the Woodman pause trick. Let me see if I can get it right this time. It should be easier in this arena because of how flat it is. But if we need to resort to a normal method, that's fine too. This actually works pretty well. Alright, let's see. Can I make it happen here without getting... Can I avoid okay. Yeah, because if you get hit by the leaves, you just get dumpstered. It's pretty annoying, actually. Oh well. Guess I'll have to settle for beating him normally. Let's cut to the Wily machine. Let's talk about the Wily machine. Overall, since Leaf Shield is such a massive projectile, this fight is not too bad, but we again have the same difficulty as with the Mecha Dragon fight, where it's just really annoying to try and hit a target and also avoid all these goddamn projectiles at the same time. I'm probably gonna... Oh wait, I forgot you can't pause. Okay. Well. This fight is genuinely very challenging to win. In the first phase, you can kind of go back and forth, but all bets are off with the shitty hitboxes in this phase. My recommendation is just to kind of stay close and spam E-tanks if you have enough. Yeah, it's quite bad. Thankfully, this is the last challenging fight of the game since all that's left is the alien, so... Alright. Managed to make it through. But boy, what a pain. The alien is predictably another slogfest, but there's nothing hard about this fight. Just most of the difficulty is honestly just not rushing yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna end up hitting the alien and getting killed or getting shot too many times. But this is ultimately not very consequential. And that's it. Mega Man 2 beaten with only the Leaf Shield. This one was honestly more painful in some kind of unexpected areas that haven't really shown up in previous challenges. Like having to actually kind of struggle a little bit to dodge Heatman was kind of funny. Crashman being more difficult, and Flashman too to a lesser extent. Obviously Airman was not an issue, which is probably the only challenge where Airman is not kind of a pain in the ass. Actually, the Atomic Fire one wasn't that bad either. And then the Wily bosses like Mecha Dragon and Guts Dozer. Overall, and the Wily Machine actually too might have been the hardest to fight genuinely. Just having to be conservative with when you choose to fire the Leaf Shield, because it takes a while to put it up, it takes a while to fire it, and if you're trying to move at the same time, it's a bit of a headache. You have to kind of micromanage your movement and also firing it, so some unexpected difficulties compared to the other weapons. Either way, that's a wrap though. Thank you all for watching, and see you on the next challenge video. This is Zeno, signing off. Bye-bye.